It is no exaggeration to say that this is one of the tops you must charge this year. This is the annual blockbuster new top from the Ouya factory class. The name is Expulsion, and many ups explain it to him. I'll just say something different. First of all, I prefer to use my ring finger to exert force when playing with the top. Legend has it that the left hand has no name, and there is a blood vessel on the finger that is connected to the heart. It is the closest place to the heart. Driving the heart city with the power of the heart will bloom with 6 petals, chasing each other, heart to heart, continuous growth. Here's my interpretation of the name Expulsion. Secondly, I don't think Expulsion is called an armor-opening top. The nail is on the outside, on the surface. The Expulsion should be called an open and closed gyroscope. When the top of the middle blade is fully opened, it has a rotation radius of about 33 millimeters and is very small. Even a person with small hands like me doesn't have to worry about turning it around. The tip of the blade will hit the tiger's mouth. Affects the rotational speed. Furthermore, many complex gyroscopic locks are relatively small. At high speed rotation, there is a risk of falling with a single finger support. The diameter of the lock is sufficient. 25 millimeters. Can hold 2 fingers on it. It is full of security, and as a complex type of opening and closing, what is the core cool point of the Euro Expulsion? In addition to the beautiful light and shadow, the impact of the middle layer with the shell is one of the core cool points, and the feedback of the left and right hands is not the same. When the left hand fluctuates, the shell is not displaced from the middle layer. When the fingers are forced to stop the shell urgently, the middle layer continues to rotate and collide with the shell under inertia. Staying at 60 degrees, there will be a crisp sound. This feedback of sound and feel will push you to think. Continue to start the next section of fluctuations and force stops. The cycle is repeated and it is very high. When the right hand does not move the shell rotates first. Driving the middle layer to open completely, there is a snap of feedback here. During the emergency stop, the middle layer burned and coincided with the shell. There is another snap of feedback here. It should be emphasized that even if the middle layer is closed, or the open state after rotating 60 degrees, the middle layer and the shell are magnetically attached. This ensures that the middle layer can be very stable in these 2 states, staying. It won't shake. This also means that when the right hand slowly stops, the middle layer can be kept in a state of 60 degrees unfolded. Another highlight is that the middle layer and shell are reserved for limit nitrate nail holes. When the nitrate nail falls in the middle layer and does not move, the middle layer can be opened and closed at 60 degrees. In this state, we can fully experience the middle level of rotation and closing. The two-way feedback that opens and closes at the top of the blade is flipped. The pin is subjected to gravity. The natural fall gets stuck between the lower shell and the middle layer. At this time, the middle layer cannot be expanded. What we experience is a one-way opening and closing at the top of the blade. If you disassemble it and expel it, it can also turn into 2 spinning tops. Experience the dual pleasure of a simple spinning top and a paper spinning top with both hands. It should be emphasized, the bulk version of the lock will be used by the evil very much. The one-piece center column will not cut corners as it is now. Some players will have questions. Is there any room for optimization in the Expulsion? Isn't the middle layer a bit thick? Will there be an improved version in the future? When we are stabbed, come and follow me to see the core middle structure directly. Let's talk about the fixed hole bulk version first, and holes will be reserved in both shells. Players can play according to the left and right hands. Get used to choosing where to put the pins yourself. 3 curved bead grooves are matched with the beads. You can isolate the middle layer and the shell to start a microsmooth effect. Ensure smooth opening and closing of the middle layer. At the same time, the impact between the bead and the end of the bead groove is also the same. It is the core source of sound and refreshment. The size of the magnet is also very particular. Too magnetic. This will cause the middle layer to not be rotated and unfolded. The magnetic force is too small due to poor absorption, unstable positioning, so depending on the size of the magnet. Finally, it was decided to use 3 mm beads and bead grooves, so the thickness of the middle layer can be said to be. Guarantee a limit under the strength of the metal. There are a total of 6 screws on both sides, guaranteed absolute firmness of the lock. The top lock can be seen after the lead is opened. There are also beads, bead groove and magnet together. Ensure the smooth opening and closing of the block and the feeling of impact. It should be emphasized, the bead grooves here are not aligned horizontally. but staggered up and down. This gives the slider a lot of room to swing from side to side when unfolded. This is a very important design detail. If the trough is aligned horizontally, there is no activity in the blocking. When the volume forces the spinning top, it will cause the block to close unsmoothly and be misaligned. The pig trough can avoid this problem to the greatest extent. The size of pigs is also the limit. Once again, the thickness of the middle layer cannot be thinner. So many ingenious structures come together. It can prove that the official account has gone through more than 10 proofs. Definitely not a calf. A total of 17 parts are CNC machining. It means that the cost is definitely not low. In conclusion, whether it is the appearance of the modern golden armor in this city, or the product power of Baihua sand after my flowers bloom, the eviction is 2024. So far, the best spinning tops to buy don't have one. Friends who can afford it can close their eyes and rush. If we talk about the shortcomings, the first is that this tip of the copper patch of the shell is a bit scratchy. Hopefully the mass version will be improved. The second is weight. A little heavy. However, this kind of complexity is basically very heavy. The eviction is already well controlled. If my video is helpful to you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Collection, forwarding, attention, harvest recommendation. Buhua agreed to go ahead and see you next time.